Children being dropped from a fence
with money laundering and operating a
The children were taken to the hospital. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. The Department of Justice has charged Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast member Jen Shah with money laundering and operating a telemarketing scam. David Fleck is a fraud attorney with 2 decades of experience, including half of that in the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office Fraud Division. He's joining me live now. David, thank you for your time this evening. In your estimation, how strong is the federal case against Jen Shah?
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff. In my opinion, it seems pretty darn strong here. They don't, we only have sort of the surface facts at this point from the press release and from the complaint, but reading between the lines, we can see they have a pretty strong case. That doesn't mean there aren't defenses that she could attempt, but I'd say my best guess is it's a pretty strong case.
It's a very sharply worded press release from the federal officials at Department of Justice. Can you explain in layman's terms what she's accused of doing?
Okay, yeah. The scam itself is basically a telemarketing scam. Good salespeople call up people and convince them to buy things that really don't have any value. These salespeople are just, dialing hundreds and hundreds of numbers until they finally find somebody who, takes the bait, and then they run with it. She seems to be charged with providing the list of people to call. And they focus a lot of that in the press, on that aspect of it in the press release. And then they just touch on sort of her involvement in the rest of it. In one place it says that she was involved in setting how much the sales floors could charge, which sounds like she may have been intimately involved in the actual fraud itself, rather than just providing the list of leads.
So I'm curious, does the Department of Justice like specifically to go after high-profile cases like this? I mean, she's not exactly a household name, but she is on TV once a week. So
I've never actually heard somebody say this from the federal law enforcement, but this is my perception. There are way more fraudsters out there than law enforcement can ever go after. And it just seems to me that the U.S. Law enforcement, federal law enforcement, loves these sort of high-profile cases because it serves as a warning to a lot of people who might think about committing fraud that this could be them. They could be going to prison. So if you can't stop them all, send out a big old warning sign saying, don't do it or else. And I think that's the role that these high-profile cases serve.
David Fleck is a fraud attorney with 2 decades of experience. Thanks for joining us. There was supposed to be a hearing for Jen Shah this afternoon, but they had to postpone it because so many people were trying to get into the Zoom session. Jen Shah couldn't get on herself. They're going to try again on Friday. KSL News Time 5:52. A bit late, but let's get to the traffic now. Here's Ricky Neese.
Southbounders on I-15, heavy